Ever grappled with the challenge of working with objects in JavaScript before the advent of ECMAScript 2017, commonly known as ES8? Remember those times when extracting values or iterating over the properties of an object seemed like a daunting task? Well, those days are a distant memory now, thanks to two static methods introduced in ES8, Object.values and Object.entries. Firstly, let's delve into Object.values. This handy method does the heavy lifting for you by returning an array that contains the values of an object's enumerable properties. The syntax couldn't be simpler. Just type Object.values and pass in the object you're working with. For instance, consider an object defined as follows: const object A, 1, B, 2, C, 3. To get an array of the object's values, we'd write const values Object.values obj. Upon logging values to the console, you'll see an array. Now let's move on to the second method, Object.entries. This method takes it a step further by returning an array containing arrays of key value pairs for each enumerable property in an object. The syntax is very similar to Object.values. Simply use Object.entries and pass in the object. For the same object we used earlier, applying Object.entries obj yields. This can be extremely useful for tasks like iterating over object properties or converting object properties into arrays for further processing or manipulation. But what makes these methods so transformative for JavaScript developers? The primary advantage lies in the convenience they offer. They simplify tasks that were once complicated, such as extracting values or iterating over object properties. Moreover, they provide a consistent way to handle object properties, aligning with other methods like Object.keys. This consistency is a key aspect of making the language more intuitive and easier to use. In terms of compatibility, Object.values and Object.entries are widely supported in modern browsers and Node.js environments. If you're working in an older environment, you might need to use polyfills or transpile your code, but that's a small price to pay for the convenience these methods offer. To sum up, Object.values and Object.entries are powerful tools in the JavaScript standard library. They offer convenient ways to work with object data structures, making tasks like iterating over object properties, converting object properties into arrays, or even checking for the presence of specific values or key value pairs in an object a breeze. So, the next time you're faced with the challenge of working with objects in JavaScript, remember these methods. They're here to make your life easier.